What is going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to Connected by Creatures with Zach and I tonight. It's going to be an awesome show, and it's just going to be me and Zach. So, what's up, Zach?
What's up, brother? Dude, I'm honestly, I was looking forward to this one, man. Like, it was weird to think about, but like, we really, haven't done anything one on one. Like, you and I speak throughout the week pretty often, but like, we don't really get to like, just kind of sit down and gab back and forth about what we got going on. So, yeah, I've been excited about this.
Yeah, man. And we've got a lot of people already showed up. What's up, Corey, Philip? Let's see who else we got in here. Jeremy's in here.
I gotta say,
Chad.
Jeremy was down there.
Yeah, man. Munson Burner. Let's see. Aurora's here. Yeah. Thank you guys. So if you read the description of the video, or if you saw me and Zach's what we're going to be talking about tonight, we kind of just want to recap everything that's been going on with Connected by Creatures, and again, show our appreciation for all the awesome guests that we've had, and say thank you again to everybody that tunes in and watches. But we also have some pretty big stuff coming up. Like, we have some things that we're really excited about, and a lot of it's going to happen at Arlington. So definitely hang around for a little while, and we'll get into that. We're also going to get into the t-shirt giveaway later, so everybody hang out for that. But Zach, man, like, we've been blessed, man. We've been lucky. We've had some badass guests on here.
Yeah, man, I think that's an understatement. Even down to just like, I tell people all the time, I'm big on like energy, and just like, I really genuinely, the older that I get, the more I believe like the things that you place your energy into, man, will kind of give back to you. And there's just this constant exchange that's going on. And this endeavor that you and I, kind of entered into, is just a really great example of that, man. Like, just as I'm not going to go into details, but like that phone call that you and I had this week about a potential guest for our future, like, that just fell into our laps, and it's somebody that you and I both have wanted to talk to. We've talked about him, this person before, and just things like that. Again, it's amazing to me. I've said it about when I started on YouTube, even just my individual channel, and you and I have had this discussion. It's amazing to me, man, when you start really just like leaning into the things that you love with the people that you just lean into it. The things that happen after that as a result. And this thing, man, is that started out as just you and I having some fun on Instagram, has snowballed and continues to do so. And it's like, I'm looking at where we're at right now and the stuff that we've got coming up, and it's like, man, where does it stop? And I don't know. So I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be good.
I think that's speaks for itself, man, that neither one of us know where it's going to stop, because that's the opposite of what we want,
Sure.
Like, I've said it on here, and I've said it to people that I know, and people that I talk to often. This is something that just kind of happened haphazardly, like we literally one day were just like, hey, let's go live on Instagram. And like, between your friends and my friends and people in the hot, like, people started watching it. And I didn't expect anybody to like really pay attention to us live on Instagram, but the more we did it, the more people. And dude, the people that spend dedicated time with us every week, man, that's amazing. Like, I can't really say, how much it means to us, because like, it might come across as bullshit, and it might come across as, oh, anybody says, but like, it really does mean a lot to me that we have these certain people in here every week, and then every week there's new people that stop in and new people that comment. And I get messages on Instagram, I get messages on Facebook that people are interested in what we're talking about. They're interested in our guest. And dude, I'm just happy that we're doing it, like, because it's always been about fun. It's never been about, trying to do anything other than have a good time and let our viewers have a good time with us.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And I've for those that don't know, like Bradley and I, oftentimes we're in here talking, together after these streams are over, and that comes up almost weekly. Like, man, like it just, we see the same names every week, and I just hope everybody knows that it doesn't go unnoticed at all. And again, just we get messages. Especially lately, I've had a number of messages from people that I didn't even know watch our stream, just saying, hey, I really like what you guys are doing. And that's very validating. And again, I don't want to dwell on this for too much longer, but I think the biggest thing we're trying to get across is just thank you.
Yeah.
We're just very appreciative of anybody that enjoys our time spent here, because obviously this is something that Bradley and I enjoy, and we wouldn't do it otherwise. And we're glad to share it with you guys. So thank you all for being
man,
here.
that's exactly what it comes down to, is thank you. And I want to go all the way back to the beginning, to the very first, the second ever episode of Connected by Creatures, when we had Brian and Kathy.
Yeah.
And for those of you awesome. who don't know Brian and Kathy, which I hope all of you do, Reptile Revival, man, they have a ridiculous collection. They have the greatest personalities. They're great people. They're great to be around. And I'm glad that they're putting out new content and kind of
me too, man.
Social media a little bit.
I was really excited to see them pop back up. So yeah, anybody that's not familiar with them, if you're not, definitely go check out Reptile Revival. Brian and Kathy Farley, I think. Yeah.
Farley.
They're good people, and they were like our first guests, I think.
First ever.
They were like the first, and they just were the first people that kind of popped into our heads that were just people that we really loved their energy, and wanted to talk to a little bit more and kind of force them to get outside of their comfort zone a little bit. So
yeah, most definitely. And then Jeremy, like having Jeremy on.
Yeah. That was the first time I met Jeremy, which was awesome. I think that's been my favorite part of this.
Look at the friendship,
Yeah, like, that's what I was just going to say. That's been my favorite part of this is that, a lot of our guests, for those that don't know, Bradley deals with most of what we do as far as a guest and reaching out to people and scheduling things. His network goes a little deeper than mine in a lot of directions. And a lot of people that we have on here, are people I've literally had never met until we pop into like the green room before we start these out. And I'm literally, every single guest that we've had on here, I basically consider friends now. I'm, constantly in touch with, and that's been a lot of fun. Again, just, being able to meet people that I didn't know. And same thing with you guys. We've got people that come in, like you said, Raleigh, that hang out with us every week that maybe I didn't even know that well before, but we try to interact with you guys as much as we can in these things, and just build those friendships. And it just speaks again to the basis of the whole show, is just the Connected by Creatures, theme is constant. We're all brought together by these animals, and then, these friendships develop from there. So, but yeah, let's get away from this and dive into some actual conversation and touch on some just kind of what we've been up to the last couple of weeks and kind of where we're headed with with Arlington and everything else.
Yeah. So for me, I told you guys last Friday that I had a crazy ass work week and things were super hectic. This week has yeah, we love you too, Jeremy. 100%, man. Definitely.
Appreciate you, brother.
This week's been super busy, but honestly, man, this week has flown by for me.
Me too.
I didn't even realize yesterday that we hadn't advertised at all. Like, we hadn't posted anything about this week. And
I did the same shit. I woke up yesterday, I was like, it's Thursday. Like, our goal is always like we talk about it every week. We're like, we need to promote this next week's show, like starting like tomorrow, like as soon as possible. And you and I both, like, work jobs that kind of stress us out a lot. You work a lot more than I do, but my just mental capacity for stress is a lot lower than yours, I think. So it takes me a few days to kind of recover. But yeah, this week I was like, it's Thursday. I literally haven't even made our thumbnail. Like, I don't even know what we're doing. So,
well, you texted me and you were like, Bradley, we need to promote. And I'm like, oh, fuck. We haven't done anything. Like, absolutely nothing. But anyways, so yeah, this week's flown by for me.
Yeah.
And it's been a productive week. It's been a good week. And so there's been a couple days that I've been really frustrated at work. There's been like, we've just been in some tough situations to where like my friends and the guys that work with me, they have completely busted their asses. And, I want to shout out everybody that's on my crew. I know one of the guys, Sal's watching, but the rest of the guys, like, they have busted their ass this week. And I get down on myself when my production's low, but I get down on myself more when I'm pushing my crew and they're busting their ass and they're trying to get production. The production's still low. Like, that's what really hurts me. And there's been a couple days like that this week. And yesterday, man, I was at the point where I wanted to cry. I was pissed off, and the reptile gods bless me. So some of you guys have seen pictures and little videos. Yesterday, we were working in this canal, and we were adding some culverts to it to make a road crossing. And I found 2 little fish, and I caught the fish, and I carried them down to get away from everything and kind of save them and help them out. And then I look down, and I see this head, and I'm like, oh my God. And Calidra serpentina, common snapping turtle, my favorite turtle on the planet. And I pick him up, man, and he's all feisty and fired up. I took a picture and took a little video and like sent it to Zach and sent it to Katie and Cusco and a few people. And like, I literally had texted Katie probably 15 minutes earlier and told her, I was like, this is the worst fucking day of my life. Like, I'm either going to cry or quit or do something. And then I pick up this turtle and I sent her a message that said, the reptile gods knew I needed this.
Yeah, man. I told you, it's all about that energy exchange. I'm not kidding. I know I sound like a crazy person, and teenage me would be like, you're an idiot, but I'm serious. I really believe in that shit, man. It's funny how that kind of stuff just kind of works out, where you can have those little moments where something as simple as that, just finding an animal in the middle of a rough ass day.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is it reminds you just to take a pause and take a deep breath and realize that, man, none of the shit that you're dealing with right now actually fucking matters. Right. I think I told you a couple weeks ago, and you've told me similar things. We both have jobs again that kind of stress us out that we don't love, because at the end of the day, it's our jobs, and it's not necessarily what we're passionate about. You love your job and you're great at it, but
me and you have not just developed a friendship through this, but I consider you family. And you support me just as much as I support you, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's at the point we pretty much talk every day. Even if it's just like a 1 or 2 text, exchange, or whether that's you text me, hey man, have a good fucking day, and I swear to God, I've told you before, if like you got a sixth sense sometimes, because I'm like, I'll be having like a really rough start to the day, just like pissed the fuck off the world. And I'll get a fucking random text from Bradley, and I'm like, this motherfucker, like, who told this motherfucker I needed to hear that shit today? So
hey, I want to highlight this right here, because that's badass, man. Like, congratulations.
Did you make a post about that? Because I'm pretty sure I saw the post, and I literally had like the biggest fucking smile about that when I saw it. If that was your post, I'm assuming that it was, because I don't know anybody else that would have
no shit specific of a scenario. Gave me chill bumps, like that.
And again, like I said, it's just those moments where and I try to dwell on those real hard, man. Like when something like that happens, where I saw your post. No, that was huge, and I liked it, and it did. I hope like, I literally paused on that post. As many posts and things as we all see every day, there are always a few that kind of make me pause and just appreciate life, and again, just the stuff that we all have going on. Because again, I know we all live stressful lives. We all have stressful situations that we deal with nonstop every day. But it's just those moments where something happens and you find yourself laughing or smiling in the middle of just having like you said, Bradley, the worst fucking day of your life, ready to fucking quit and walk out of your fucking job.
I
And
just
something will
cry,
happen.
man. Like,
yeah, or just break the fuck down in tears. Yeah, like I've been there, man. I mean, we've talked about that. You know, we both work for us over the last few months has been rough. And yet this past week has seemed like for both of us, I've said it earlier, like things are starting to get better, man. Things are starting to look up. You know, for those that don't know, you know, I've obviously been stressed. I've started a new job. I've missed bartending like crazy. I miss the money from bartending, but I mostly miss the people. You know, I love dealing with people. For those that don't know, I love to talk to people. I enjoy that energy exchange and trying to brighten somebody's day and put a smile on somebody's face. And I like to take care of people. And I haven't been able to do that for over a year now. But at least financially, things are starting to look up. You know, I should be getting a promotion here in the next, you know, few weeks. Finally, things are kind of opening up as far as some positions, and some things are changing with my company. So things are looking better. Is the long story short. And yeah, it is just hold on to those moments. You know, if you're going through some shit, and something makes you snap out of that for a second and smile and laugh, just again, dwell in that moment for a minute. Remember that like that's actually what matters, those moments. And the more that you dwell on those moments, the more of those moments you'll find that yourself having, and the less things will seem dark and shitty. Shout out to Mindy. It sounded like you were having a little bit of a rough day. So I hope that this wasn't intended for you, but it seems relevant maybe. So I hope you feel better, huh? And we love you to death.
Zach, can you tell everybody what happened when you were on the phone with me the other day? Because that's
which time?
That's the best.
Oh, yes. So literally, and it's funny because I think even you have said something when we're on the phone, like squirrel brain. You've referred to me as squirrel brain. I have real bad ADD, but anyways, Bradley and I are on the phone and we're shooting the shit and we're talking about, you know, it was kind of a similar thing. We were talking about a moment that happened to you the day before. That ended up being really cool. That was so random. And again, was just that full circle moment of like, that might lead to a guest that we have on in the future. Random interaction. Anyways, while Bradley's in the middle of telling me this story, I'm standing in a parking lot, getting ready to, you know, I was at work already basically, but we were waiting on our truck to get dropped off so I could unload it. And Bradley's in the middle of this serious story, and I'm quiet because I'm listening. And while I'm trying to listen, I'm in this, again, big shopping center. There's a lot of restaurants and things around, but it's like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And there's this squirrel that is on this tree, and it's on the tree, like maybe 4 feet from me, you know, kind of close. And it's looking at me. I mean, like intently looking at me, and it's holding on, and it takes its one arm off the tree and it's doing this shit. Like literally like almost like come here kind of hand motion. I'm like, what? That's kind of fucking weird. That's what caught me first. He then proceeds to jump off the tree, come within like a foot of me. He's basically like standing at my feet, and he's like holding his hands out, like, give me something, like asking for something. But I was like, I had to cut Bradley off in the middle of this awesome story that he's telling me to be like, dude, this has never happened to me before in my life. Like, I swear to God, this squirrel is literally like looking me dead in the face, like, hey man, I need you to give me something. Like, you got something for me. And so again, it was just another one of those moments where, you know, I was at the very start of what I thought was going to be a really rough day. I'm having this really good conversation with Bradley where we're kind of both just like breaking away from, literally both of us are at work, like in the middle of you know, of the shit. And, you know, it took a couple minutes to, you know, to talk to each other, and both of us kind of were able to share these moments that were surrounded by animals, you know. And I told him, I was like, dude, I've never had a squirrel just like walk up to me before, let alone one that's literally like doing this hand motion, you know, just weird. And obviously, like, yeah, like we, you know, again, this is like a really highly popularized area. Like, there's apartment complexes on top of restaurants, so there's tons of people. I'm sure this thing's been fed a million times. You know, so I'm not saying this is like some like outrageous behavior, but it was just cool. It was a really neat experience, and again, it was a really neat moment that I took some time to dwell on and appreciate. And I was glad that I was able to share that with Bradley, because we both had a good laugh about it. So
yeah, man. Also, shout out to Corey in the comments. Corey had his first clutch ever this week,
Mm,
and he got out of school for the summer early. So congratulations, Corey.
that's killer, man. That's dude. Life is good. Life is good for him. It sounds like, I hope it is, anyways.
Yeah, man.
Um,
He was texting me a little bit just before. What's up,
Corey's a
Brian?
good dude. What's up, Mr. Cusco? Dude. I'm telling you, I cannot wait for this trip. I genuinely cannot wait for this trip. Like the number of friends and like people that I consider family now that I've made over the last couple of years that I literally have not been able to meet yet. Like I have not, for those who don't know, I've never met Bradley in person. I've never met Brian in person. Like Arlington is going to be just, dude, it's going to be emotional for me. Like I'm emotional just thinking about it. Like just, I'm so looking forward to being able to just like shake hands and give hugs to these people that I've met over the last couple of years that have really influenced my life and been such positive influences and just giving me energy when I needed it. I'm so stoked, dude. Like I
Well,
really, really am.
with Brian showing up like he did in the comments, I think I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, please. I meant to ask you before when we were in the green room before we came in here, kind of what you thought we should or shouldn't talk about. What I was gonna say is I'm totally cool with everything. I don't
Yeah, I
think there's
think we
anything that
throw
needs to
it
be held
out
back.
there.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
So, like Zach was just saying, this Arlington trip is going to be the first time Zach and I've ever met each other face to face, which is a huge thing for us with Connected by Creatures, but it's also a huge thing because we're all staying together, myself and Zach and Garrett and Cusco. Well, one of the biggest things for us is everybody knows that Brian Cusco has been so much to me in the reptile world. Like he means so much to me. He's carried me with him, and I've met, people and done amazing things. And we wanted to wait for the right time to bring Brian on here. And the right time is going to be Arlington. And we're actually going to do Connected by Creatures with our guests together, all in the same room for the first time. And it's going to be myself and Zach and Brian. And go ahead and let everybody know who else, Zach.
Also, Garrett Hartle. Garrett Hartle is going to be there, which is huge. I love Garrett to death. I've met Garrett. Obviously, I went up to his facility, which even that was crazy. Like even that was wild to me. That again, Garrett's a friend. Like he's been a friend to me, for years. Since I bought my first animal from him over 3 years ago. But even still, having not ever met him in person, it was just different. It was very different. I'm an emotional person in general. A lot of people maybe don't know that about me, and I don't show that side of myself often. But I am. So like literally like pulling into Garrett's driveway, like I was like shaking, nervous, and like excited, and just like overwhelmed. That's how I feel about this Arlington trip. Like I feel very emotional at even you saying, because like just saying it out loud, because I've thought about it in my head, but you just saying it out loud that like we are about to do the first ever Connected by Creatures that's live in person with everybody, like our guest in person, you and I in person. And again, these are all people that I love that I have not even actually met face to face. That's amazing. I don't really have words to describe the way that I feel about that, but I'm overly excited. And like I said, excited just doesn't even really cover it. It really doesn't. Again, I'm emotional about it, because I'm just looking that forward to it. Because these are all people that I genuinely love and consider to be family. So I'm stoked, man, and it means a lot for Connected by Creatures, and we're doing beyond that. We're doing some things with Brian and Garrett, even beyond what we're doing here.
Like you said, man, Garrett's a friend too, to me. Like, like I said, Cusco's done so much for me, and
yeah, I mean, y'all are
Zach,
family. Like
Zach
let's
and
call
Garrett
it.
have done a lot of stuff together, and I kind of wanted to share that, you know, balance with Zach and have Zach talk about Garrett. And, you know, obviously Cusco means a lot to Zach too. He's wearing his shirt right now.
This is my favorite shirt lately.
Garrett means a lot to me too. And so outside of just doing Connected by Creatures live all in the same room for the first time, after that we're going to be filming Searchable as Reptiles, and their guest is Connected by Creatures. So not only will Brian and Garrett be doing our show, but me and Zach will be doing Brian and Garrett's show as well. And like that means so much, just for the fact it's humbling, and it blows my mind that Brian and Garrett would even consider us to be at the same level as, you know, to even consider us for that. See, I mean, we're coming behind Brian Barczyk and Kevin McCurley and, you know, so many other people that are just amazing that I look up to, and I know Zach looks up to, and it's so much, man.
Like they're people that are like our bucket list guests to be on our show, and we you know, have somehow weaseled our way into you know, filling their shoes, if you will. Not that we ever even remotely could begin to, but you know, filling that same spot on the same show that those guys have come before on. So it's pretty awesome. It's really awesome, and that's why I say there's just something about this hobby, man. It's so big and yet so small. If you'd have told me 2 years ago, you know, that I would be doing half the things I've already done, let alone what we're looking forward to at the Arlington show, dude, I would have probably cried. I know I would have cried, and I'd been like, but how? Like I wouldn't have. First of all, I wouldn't have believed it. I'd have been like, no, that's a lie. That's bullshit. Because there's like, how would that ever happen? But second of all, yeah. So no, we're super, super excited. I hope that everybody that's here will absolutely tune in for that stuff. Of course, you know, the Searchable as Reptiles will be available on a couple different platforms. You know, both audio on like Spotify and wherever you watch podcasts. But of course, video through YouTube. You know, Cusco takes care of that end of things and does a killer job, man. You know, those guys are really, you know, somebody to look up to in terms of the way that they do their production. And just, dude, I Cusco in general, like everything that he does, the quality at the level at which he does those things is amazing to me. And the number of channels and the number of things that he juggles is wild. And speaking of that, and Bradley and I have talked about this, I really want to get all of the Connected by Creature stuff going forward. I want to get that onto audio as well. So that it's not just on YouTube. And I'm sure you guys in the comments will kind of let me know how you feel about that. But I 100% think that it's a necessity at this point. I don't think that it's an option anymore. I think it's got to happen. This stuff is way too valuable. It's way too important to only remain on one platform where you have to keep the app open constantly, or you have to have YouTube Premium to be able to listen to it in the background. I want to make sure that we can reach as many people with our message as humanly possible, and try to have a positive impact on the hobby, you know, because that's Bradley, we've talked about that before, you know, as much negativity is out there and all that, like we really want to be that beacon, that shining light, to just uplift, you know, the whole thing. So,
and also guys in the comments, let us know if you're interested in clips. Like, you know, if you think that it would be something that other people would be interested in, if we started taking clips from different, you know, like we had Billy on and we took a clip of Billy saying this, that, and the,
yeah.
like,
so in other words, taking
taking
a 4-hour episode with Billy, which should have never been a 4-hour episode with Billy, but how do you not take advantage of taking as much time from Billy as humanly possible? Like if he was willing to sit there, like I wasn't going to stop talking to him, you know? So, but I think we use that example because we talked about it immediately afterwards, that first of all, we never meant for it to go that long. But second of all, like there was so much information dropped. I don't remember how many times I heard Billy say, I've never talked about this on a podcast before, or I've never talked about this on a stream before. that there's so much value that I know is probably sometimes missed. And so I personally think it's important. Bradley and I agree on that. So yeah, you guys let me know. Yeah, Jeremy, clips are great. Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Exactly. Like even just for that, where we can take a 5-second clip that's like the beginning of a really great conversation and post that to Instagram or post that to TikTok and that use that as essentially like a hook, the same way a hook for a song. And again, just bring people in to where they're like, okay, well, I might not have been willing to listen to that 4-hour episode, but having listened to like these 10-15-second clips that were all really good, I'm really curious about what else is in there. So I think it would be a great tool. And Jerome, thank you guys. I appreciate that. So
Also, Zach, I didn't think about it till just now. There's another past guest of Connected by Creatures that you're guaranteed to meet at Arlington, and it's Patrick.
Which one is that?
Patrick.
Oh, dude, let me tell you, man. Patrick still to this day is one of my favorite guests we've had on. That dude, he's special, man. He's a special human being.
I can say honestly, within about 5 minutes of sitting down at a table and having a conversation with Patrick, like I knew that there was something different about him. Like,
that's what I mean. He's not a normal
special person.
He is not. He is not a normal human being. He even when he says simple things, they're profound, and that's rare. He's a rare breed of person. And again, what I was talking about with just energies and stuff, I don't mean to keep sounding like such a hippie, but there's something to that, man, because just the way that he speaks, and it makes sense based on a lot of things
also
that
he's very true to himself. He's very honest, and he's done. You can tell, just by being or even talking to him, but definitely being around him, that Patrick's one of those type of people that he's done a lot of soul searching, and he's found who he is, who his true self is, and what he wants to do with it. And he's not afraid to share that. Like he's very open and honest.
No, and I loved that. I loved that episode. For anybody that hasn't watched that episode that Bradley and I did with Patrick, please go back and watch it. There was, like I said, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. There were so many moments that were super profound. Try to ignore Rob's contribution to that episode. As funny as it is, there's so many more serious takeaways to be had from that. Like Patrick, because I mentioned to him, there was, I don't remember how it came up, but it might have even been after the stream. We were talking about just I struggle to sleep, and I've done some meditative counting and things like that do help me to sleep. And he was like, dude, he's like, I'm going to send you this information. He's like, you got to check out this, blah, blah, blah. And this, that, and the other thing that he does. And he's like, and he also mentioned, he has said it before. He's like, man, he's like, I talk to so many people. He's like, I really sometimes struggle to get back to everyone. He's like, but I do my best, because a lot of people reach out to Patrick. I mean, for obvious reasons. I mean, but dude, he did. He got back to me like 3 days after the stream and sent me over this article and talked me through some instructions. Because for those who don't know, Patrick does a lot with breathing techniques and meditation and things like that.
Yoga, really deep into yoga.
Yeah, a lot of really amazing things that are the longer that we're all alive on this earth continue to come out. We continue to find out actually have medical relevance. They have been proven to be effective. And again, I'm not going to go into Patrick's story, but if you guys will go back and rewatch that stream, Patrick's lived a heck of a life. And I told him that I think, and this goes back to what you were saying about him, Bradley, he is a product of the life that he has lived in the best way possible. He lived what many people would consider to be a life that a lot of people would look down on and frown upon. In a lot of the things that he was doing long ago. And I told him, I don't remember if it was on.
And he and I have a lot in common in that aspect.
Yeah. And I told you, I think I told you the same thing, Bradley. If I didn't, I meant to, and I still stand by this. You guys are both going to be tremendously successful in life, not in spite of your previous circumstances, but because of your previous circumstances, because you've actually lived, because you've actually seen maybe
And
not the darkest, but some
we're
of the
talking
darkest
about
pits of
addiction,
humanity.
guys.
Yeah.
If you didn't watch the episode with Patrick at
Yeah.
the very beginning, Zach had some technical issues, and Patrick and I talked about like how our stories are a lot similar with opiate addictions, and that if you didn't see it, man, go back and check it out. Like,
Yeah, it's a really great one. Like it's an emotional one, and again, there's some things in there that are distracting, which frustrated me like crazy, because it's like, you know, between the technical difficulties and like Rob just being a nut job on the stream and all that. Like if you
think it frustrates you,
Yeah.
you weren't the
Oh, I know.
one that was sitting in
Yeah.
Jeremy Turgeon, Brassman Reptiles reptile room getting bit by
Forgot
all of
about that. You were
Jeremy's
at Jeremy.
snakes because
you were at
Rob
Jeremy's
Roush
house for
is
that.
shoving baby carpet pythons in my face and shit.
Yeah, my point is that if you go back and rewatch that stream, again, like I said, don't get distracted by all the other shit that's going on. If you really listen to it, and this is why also I want to switch it to audio, or add in that we have it on audio, because I know that it'll come across a lot better on audio to be a little less distracting for stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's that was a great one. And I mean that. And it's not even just the addiction thing. I'm not saying that like, in order to grasp the universe, you need to go out and be an addict and be in that dark place. I think
don't do that.
No, please don't. My point is that, you know, mentally, obviously, when you're in that state, when you're in that position, it's not just an addiction. You have that addiction because of the things you're dealing with mentally. Or at least I think. Again, I've never lived that, but I've had my own addiction issues with other things. And again, I feel like people that go to those darkest pits of our minds and kind of hit that rock bottom, if you will, or their own individual rock bottom, oftentimes, if and this is a big if they're able to make it past that, and if they're able to pull themselves out of it the way that you and Patrick both did, God, those people have so much to offer the rest of humanity. It's not even funny, because those experiences can slingshot you into true happiness after the fact, because you realize how far down you can go. So it makes how high up you can go after that like almost limitless, you know. So anyways, like, so we won't dwell on this anymore, but I'm really fucking glad you brought Patrick up. And if I cannot wait to see him at Arlington.
Yeah, you'll definitely get to meet him. He's from there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I know he'll be there because he lives not far. So I didn't even think about that till you brought it up.
I actually messaged him the other day and made sure he was going to be there.
Yeah.
So, and one more thing, guys, about Arlington. I'm not going to spill any beans here, but there is a surprise. And it's a surprise for Brian Cusco that we're going to give Brian Cusco. And Zach knows what it is. Katie's super excited about it. I'm super excited about it. Zach,
you guys should all be super stoked.
Everybody should be super excited about the surprise for Brian Cusco that we're giving him at Arlington. I'll say this. It's a big surprise.
It is not. He's being literal. It's
big.
Yeah, it's not small.
It's a big surprise.
And it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be amazing. I'm so stoked. Arlington's gonna be amazing, dude. I mean, like I'm struggling to say anything beyond that, but it just is. This is gonna be. I genuinely think this is gonna be like one of the greatest weekends I've ever had in my entire life, because I'm just telling you, I think that I'm thinking going into it, I don't think my life, I can speak for myself, my life is not going to be the same after Arlington. This Arlington. I can say that as a fact.
Mindy, I'll let you know what the surprise is.
We trust you. We trust you.
I trust you.
Not that we don't trust any of you other guys, but we really have to be very careful about this.
Yeah. So Aurora, message me your guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Not on here. Yeah. Not on here.
Yeah, definitely not on here. Please don't do it.
Message me on Instagram.
If he's got guesses, do not drop them in the comments.
Yeah,
seriously.
if you
please don't.
I'll put it to you this way: if you guys message me, and you get it right, I'll tell you that you're right. But okay, away from that.
Yeah.
So one more thing that I wanted to touch on before we do the giveaway is you know what? Fuck it, Zach. Let's do a giveaway.
Yeah, let's give away your shirt.
All right. So I'm giving away a wrapped around reptile shirt. So the question the answer for the question I'm fixing to ask has been talked about on Connected by Creatures several times. And if you guys have watched past episodes, you'll get the answer to this. So, Zach, watch the comments. Here we go. For Wrapped Around Reptiles t-shirt, what was my first pet reptile? Let's see who gets it.
We'll give you all a couple minutes. In the meantime, while we're not sitting in silence waiting on an answer, there's only 9 of y'all here, but y'all are also all regular guests. So I won't be surprised. Obviously, somebody's going to know it down there. But also, I'm always drunk on these for the most part. and so when Bradley brought it up as the question, I was like, fuck, man, even I don't remember that shit. But again, I'm also, I tend to be relatively imbibed when we do a lot of these. So, don't be too upset if nobody guesses it, or if you guys don't get it right off.
Yeah, because Zach didn't know. Hell, I don't know if Zach will know if he sees the right answer.
You never told me what it was after I told you. I couldn't remember. So,
Corey, the question is, what was my first pet reptile? What species?
I'm gonna message you for the answer so I can see it.
I'll text it to you right now.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Did I mention squirrel brain earlier? Dude, I am not a good person sometimes. Oh, Aurora Komodo dragon. If only. Of course, if that was his first, if that was his first reptile, he probably wouldn't be with us anymore because he ended up being eaten by that damn thing.
That'd have been awesome. That's a hell of a way to go,
dude. I agree. That's right. Okay, so I feel better because that was my initial thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's right because I remember we had that in common. So
yeah,
that's another little clue for anybody that's listened. Again to the podcast.
It's actually
you'll know
both of our first.
Yeah, it was both of our first pet reptile. That's super weird. I really actually can't believe nobody's guessed it. I would maybe now that we've combined our efforts.
But I mean, I've seen King Cobra. I've seen T-Rex.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point people are just throwing stuff out there.
I mean, so anybody who's just
it's especially funny considering how old we are. Like anybody that's around our same age, around the time we were growing up as kids, it's like what did everybody have one of? Because
what is really Zach and I's first pet reptile? Both of us had the same.
Both of us had the first same pet reptile. How did we not talk about this before?
I don't know.
Like at least not directly. Like we indirectly talked about having this particular reptile, each of us.
Yeah, and we've talked about it
on here a couple times.
Boom, Jeremy Bearfield, Cure Constrictors.
Of course,
Jeremy.
What's up, Jeremy? Dude, I've been meaning to reach out to Jeremy. I'm so cool, at least from his social media posts. And like I said, I haven't talked to him personally. Based on his posts on social media, it really seems like he's doing well. Considering the circumstances that he lived through recently, and like I said, Jeremy, I hope you don't mind me saying this, publicly, but I'm not gonna say anything much. I have been meaning to reach out to Jeremy because I've been happy to see him seemingly happy.
Everybody has Jeremy saying iguana first, right? It was
I didn't see. I've iguana.
Seen two, but I think Jeremy was first
because I was gonna say I saw turtles and tortoises was the first thing that I saw.
Yeah,
and then a couple other people guessed, a number of different snakes. So,
all right, well, I know how to get a hold of Jeremy. So, Jeremy, you're getting You're getting another Wrapped Around Reptiles t-shirt, bro.
Yeah, Jeremy,
Or
this is also your
since you have shirts, Jeremy, you can whatever item you want off the website, it's yours.
awesome. Jeremy, by the way, this is the second time you've been brought up on this stream. We brought you up earlier. We were talking about previous guests that we appreciated being here, and just kind of where we started out. So, thank you for being part of the OG Connected by Creatures crew. We love you, dude. You know that.
He is definitely the OG. Yeah, and fucking guys, Jeremy has supported Zach and I since Instagram. Like he was there every Instagram live we did. Okay, Jeremy's the man, guys. If y'all don't know, get on Cure Constrictors and just message that dude, talk to that dude. He has more knowledge than he knows what to do with.
Yeah. No, he really
He's
does.
ugly as fuck, but he has a ton of knowledge.
But it's the truth, man. And we tried to talk about that as much as we could and like drill it into people when we had him on the stream that like this dude is a freaking like a hidden gem in the hobby that's like got a lot going on, has some crazy fucking animals, but does not promote himself as far as social media, like hardly at all in terms of the stuff he's got going on. And I still feel that way. Jeremy's he's a hidden gem in the hobby, and we appreciate him. We're lucky to call him friends, and I'm glad to know him. I'll tell you, man, like because this is a thought that I had, and I'm sure you'll agree. Dependent upon work schedules and stuff, man, I would love like after the Arlington thing, I would love it if we could make it a at some point in the next year, if we could start doing some more like live on premise streams and stuff together. Even it's in the Southeast, like we're within a number of hours of each other at least, where we might be able to drive to certain locations and do some filming and then drive back home kind of thing. So if that's something we could do, like I'd be stoked. Like that's my 100%, vision 100% of the future of this thing. I feel like you and again the Southeast, like so many people are in a lot of other areas, do a lot of on-site stuff, in California and things like that. A lot of those guys get together.
But like,
there's so many people within a number of hours of us,
right there.
That's what I was gonna say. Between Georgia and Tennessee. Yep, yeah, there's a
Georgia,
ton.
Tennessee, Florida's not too far. My sister lives in Florida. We can stay at her house. Like,
there's a ton of people that we've got access to. So we just gotta.
It's gonna happen.
Figure out the logistics and carve out the time. But yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page about that. For the record, this is the first time that Bradley and I have talked about this is live in front of you guys. So hopefully that's something you guys can look forward to with Connected by Creatures.
Let's hit some segments, Zach.
Let's go.
Because I'm excited. I actually heard a song today that I haven't heard in about 2 months, and I want to shout it out.
Do it.
So
let's hear it.
This week,
got my phone ready.
My band or musician of the week is City and Color.
Oh, dude.
And the song Coming Home.
Dude.
Is if you guys don't know who that is, please check them out and listen to that song. Coming Home by City and Color.
I just want to say that is so off track for you compared to a lot, like just in terms of what you usually talk about.
Yeah,
that's an amazing fucking song, but you guys will understand when you listen to it why I say that, because it's very melodic and slow and quiet, but it's also a song where, dude, I'm telling you, that song, the first time I heard it was just like randomly on Pandora. It's been fucking years ago, but the first time I heard it, I was like, this shit speaks directly to my fucking soul, like cuts through everything, and it is so good. And City and Color in general, amazing. Like the first time I heard City and Color was like I mentioned them. I don't know how many streams ago, weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Movements had the same impact on me. The first time I heard them, I was like, God, I have to hear more of their stuff. Just emotionally like palpable. I don't know, just good shit, dude. As soon as you said City and Color, I was not expecting that. I'm so stoked you brought that up.
A Connected by Creatures fact. Or just a Connected by Creatures fun thing, I guess. When Zach and I were still doing Instagram lives, Brian Cusco talked shit for 15 minutes about me playing a guitar because I have my guitars behind me. He was like, "Are you gonna fucking play that thing or what?" So I grabbed the guitar, and the song that I played live on Instagram was "Coming Home" by City and Color.
It's so good. It's I'm telling you, that's an amazing song, dude. Good freaking call. It's, by the way, it's got over 25 million plays
Wow.
on Spotify.
Wow.
The impressive thing is that another song by them called "The Girl" is 82 million.
That's a badass song too
on Spotify. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like, that particular song, "Coming Home," is amazing by them.
That song just touches me.
Yeah, and that's it's a lower energy, certain type of mindset or mood song where it's a little slower, but all their stuff is great. Like in other words, if you go and like check out that song specifically, and you're like, I can't get into this, literally trust me, listen to anything from them. City and Color is amazing. They're so good.
But at the same time, I also want to say fuck City and Color, because when I made my video for my Wrapped Around Reptiles channel, when I moved back to Arkansas, there was a clip of that song in the video.
You got hit with copyright strike?
I got copyright strike. And I had based the whole fucking video around that song and another song, which was, of course, I couldn't have posted it because it was Sharon Osbourne, Mama, I'm Coming Home. And Sharon's going to fuck me. And so I wound up just scrapping the whole fucking video. Like, I have it still, but I never posted it. So, yes, I love you, City and Color. Also, fuck you. What's up, Riley Jemison? Good to see you, brother.
What a fucking night. We got so many guests down in the comments. Dylan's down there.
I'll tell you what. Riley is still on my shit list for getting rid of the last Apodoras that he had, that he got rid of before I even fucking knew it.
No, and again, Riley's another one. Like, I hadn't really talked to him ever before. I think I had once, like, I think he was a guest on Cusco's thing, right? At some point.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a guest on our Zoom call? Yeah. So I talked to him like once before. But yeah, once we had him on here, like, I fucking love what we do. I'm just gonna say it. I genuinely fucking love what we do every fucking Friday. It can stress me out sometimes because of like the preparation and like things that we have to do, because we put pressure on ourselves to make sure that we build these things up and promote them well enough for our guests and make it worthwhile for people. But man, as soon as we hit, okay, we're going live. As soon as I hear you say, all right, yeah, we got 30 seconds to go live, like, dude, I just settle down and I'm telling you, this is my favorite part of the week every fucking week. This shit keeps me alive. So I appreciate y'all. Man.
So
and thanks for being here, Riley.
Who's yours, musician or band of the week?
So I had to think pretty hard about this one. I'm going to go with this week. I'm going to go with Blind Guardian. I don't think that I've talked about them before. Dude, Blind Guardian, I've been listening to them. I was introduced to them in high school, like when I was a freshman, I think. The specific album I would recommend for you all to check out is, I think it's called Nightfall in Middle Earth. Let's see. But you can guess by the title of that album. They're like, it's like bard style lyrics with like metal in the background. It's just like this medieval metal. But the entire album, at least for Nightfall in Middle Earth, it tells a story. Like, the actual opening track, you can hear like swords clanging together, and it's this battle scene. And the amazing thing about it is again, just as you're listening, you build this image in your head of what's actually going on. And then and it's like a film. There's literally a verbal exchange. An actual scene plays out between this guy and this other individual. And they're talking about escape routes. And he's like, yes, there are escape routes from this castle, but you know them too. So you can escape. And he's telling this to the guy who's technically beneath him. And the guy's like, yeah, but I serve you. Like, I'll serve you till the end. And he's like, no, today you're going to live and you're going to use these escape routes. He's like, but you will serve me for eternity. So even though I'm going to stay behind and I'm going to die here, like, and then it just like jumps into the song, and I get chills even just talking about it right now. It's good shit, man. Like,
I'm gonna have to check it out, man.
It's very, very different. Oh, dude, if you've never listened to Blank, like, no, and there might be some songs there where you're like, oh, I didn't know it was them. But dude, they are amazing. That entire album, Nightfall in Middle Earth, dude, yeah, it's intense. super, super intense. I could literally listen to them all day, and that's just one album. I mean, they've got a ton. They've been around forever. They I don't think they ever really blew up in the United States. Like I would akin them to like like if they did a tour with like Dragon Force, I think Dragon Force has toured with them.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're like up there, man, as in terms of like the way their musicians are and stuff. Like just again, think like medieval, like a bard singing in a tavern with like a Dragon Force guitarist, like
Yeah.
Herman Lee over there, like
No.
you know,
So
playing guitar
it's
for
funny
this bard.
that you talk about Dragon Force because I can't tell you how many times I've watched that fucking video. Well, 2 videos actually on YouTube, and it's a video of like Herman Lee playing guitar, and it's all janky and fucked up, and then he pushes this pedal, and it like turns into like Super Mario getting shit. And then the other one is he's like, tell your friends Herman Lee is cool, or I'll come to your house and shit on your head. That's the funniest fucking shit ever.
I saw Dragon Force live in Atlanta. It's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my life. At one point, they had Herman Lee. I cannot remember the name of their other guitarist. Right?
I can't either.
I don't know why. But first of all of them on their mic stands have cup holders. Their mic stands have cup holders where they keep literally like a glass of vodka and a beer to chase it with. And they're doing like the fastest notes you've ever seen on guitar.
Insane.
At one point during the performance, Herman Lee and the other guitarist, they walk across to this one part of the stage. Two other people who I'm guessing are like their guitar techs, because generally guitar techs are also like super accomplished guitar players. Yeah, like insane guitar players. 2 of their guitar techs come out. They form a circle. So all 4 of them are standing in a circle playing guitar to, I don't remember what the song was. Mid play, you know, there's 2 hands involved in playing guitar. Mid play, they each take their left hand, which is not what they're strumming with. They're all right-handed guitar players, from what I recall. Left hand, start strumming the strings on the guitar to their left and controlling the notes with their right hand. So in other words, they're each playing half of a guitar, did not miss a single beat, a single note, a single anything. It was the most just absurd like flex of just stupid skill and ability like I've ever seen in my life. The crowd went insane, and the Dragon Force has a new vocalist. Not that he's new now. He's been with them for years now. And honestly, I haven't actually listened, so I don't know if they have a new album out with that new vocalist. But I remember when they had the new vocalist come on, it was a younger guy, blonde hair, I think, blonde metal vocalist, blonde, long hair. Do you remember the video they put out of him hitting those crazy notes in the booth?
No, that was Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So anybody that's ever seen the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg, you guys will remember like the Steel Dragon, like Stand Up Shout. Like, but they had the tryouts or whatever, like in the studio, and like they're hitting the notes and this and the other thing. Dragon Force, I swear to God, took a note out of that movie because obviously they, whatever reason.
Wait. Before we go there, you know what that movie's about, right?
Specifically, I don't remember.
Like,
I know
the whole where they got the story. So that story is actually what really happened with Judas Priest. So Rob Halford was hitting all these crazy ass high notes and nobody could do it. And then Tim Ripper Owens came in and was fucking going even higher than Halford was, and they hired his ass.
Yeah. And so Dragon Force essentially did the same thing. Like, they parted ways with their vocalist who had been with them forever and super talented guy. And they bring in this other dude who was like a younger version, if you will. But they made a point to post on YouTube a clip from this guy being in the booth, hitting these notes. And like the buildup was what made it, because it's like he's hitting these crazy notes already in the beginning of the video. And then later on in the track, he hits this note that literally like makes his eyes water, and he almost like faints from like just the amount of force he was putting out. And that was like how they introduced their new vocalist to the world of like, listen, we understand the fans are pissed off, but also like check this shit out. That's
look
amazing.
at this fucking guy.
And he's like Swedish or something, but and he's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, at the end of the video, this crazy accent, and it was just like, again, as a Dragon Force fan, been a fan, since the early 2000s. Seeing that, I was like, I'm sold. I would go fuck. Like, who was the old guy? Kind of thing. Like, not literally, but it was really cool. So, honorable mention Dragon Force, but Blind Guardian is my band of the week. How the fuck did we even get here? We've been talking about.
I don't know, but I loved it, and that's why I always love this every week.
Me too, man. We
always end up way off the topic of the people that we're talking about, and like bring up 9,000 other bands and stories, and I absolutely love it.
Matt Sommers, that's why we're friends, man. You're talking about Dragon Force reminding you of high school, and you said you love Blind Guardian, so I appreciate you even more.
Yeah, man. So movie or TV show of the week? What you got?
Crap. I got to look mine up. Give me 2 seconds, because it's actually a new one. I was hesitant to even mention it because it is new. It's a brand new series. There's only one season out, and I finished it. I started it yesterday and I finished it today, so it's short, which is frustrating. But it's an Amazon original. You guys know I really like a lot of anime stuff and like cartoon stuff, but the anime stuff and cartoon stuff I watch is, for the most part, is like, relatively, like, it's not kiddie, in other words, not childish. There's a new series on Amazon. It's called Invincible. And it's a literal, like, it's an adults only, like, they have a warning in there. Not that there's like nudity or anything weird, but there's just like blood, guts, and gore. But it's a superhero chronicle. It reminds me a little bit, I think, of what's that other one that came out, Bradley? Do you remember? Was
Death
it like
Note.
No? Well, Death Note's amazing, but there was a show that came out. It was a live show, an actual, like, real acting show. Was it? It was called like The Boys Club or something.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. What was it called?
Yeah. Oh,
it's similar to that,
but I told you.
But I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if I hadn't just fuck.
I think it is Boys Club.
Hero show. Let's see. The Boys. It's just called The Boys. It's also on Amazon.
Yeah.
I have an inkling, and I haven't Googled this. Like, literally, I found this cartoon yesterday. I have a feeling, and this cartoon is based on an actual comic book that actually exists. So it's all based on, like, real lore. So I don't know if The Boys was loosely based on this, or if, like, they got the concept from them or whatever. But this show is called Invincible, and it's about the main character is this kid whose dad is the number one superhero in the world, and he just develops his powers, and how his dad actually turns out to be kind of evil. And how the world doesn't really know that his dad's kind of evil. The world's been looking up to him forever, and this and the thing. And there's just all this crazy shit that transpires. And there's a lot of intricacies in terms of just like weird, just coming of age story kind of thing. Sometimes it's a little annoying to me. Again, I'm 33. I think if I was maybe in my 20s, I would probably like it a lot more. But I enjoyed it. It's only 6 episodes, and it's only season 1 right now, so I don't know if they're going to have a second season. But I felt like I would bring it up because I enjoyed it. Yes, exactly, Matt. Yes. Yeah. See, freaking Matt's on fire tonight. Yes, it is. It's written by the same guy, and so again, take that for what you will. Like, I'm sure, like, I've seen some bits from the comic books, and I think I probably would like the comic books better, which is probably pretty typical, because they cut out a lot of the details of the story, I'm sure. But as of right now, I watched the first season, all 6 episodes, and I really enjoyed it. And so I hope that they're going to stick with it. What's up, Chris Eaton? I'm sure I'll be talking with you either tomorrow or the next day. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You guys take that for what you will. 80s, yes, Invincible is awesome. Chris,
this
literally,
guy comes in with talking about Cinderella and Tom Kiefer and going down gypsy roads. Come on, Chris. Long cold winter, my ass.
Yeah, and comes in talking about the show and everything. Chris, I literally almost texted you today to ask you if you watched it, because for those who don't know, Chris is also like real big into the comic book world and things, which I love and appreciate, because I feel like he can educate me on that stuff a lot, and I feel like there's a lot that I've missed out on. So yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. Chris, let me, dude, even if it's not on here, shoot me a text or whatever. Let me know how the show compares to the comics, and if I should pick up the comic books based on what I saw on the show, having finished season 1. But yeah, man, dude, Fuck. See what I'm saying? Like, we got such fucking awesome people that pop in here. Like, everybody that hangs out here every fucking week is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
but also, like, now we got like
it's
Chrissy
funny
pop
too,
in. Like,
man. It really is funny because like we can be talking about somebody or something, and then boom, they pop in. Like we can mention Brian Cusco's name, he pops. We mention Chris Eaton's name, and boom, he pops in.
Yeah.
Like it's
or
like
we mention a band that Cusco likes, or a movie that Cusco makes everybody watch. Remember that was
nobody
weird.
Say Run Ronnie Run.
That was weird.
If you say Run Ronnie Run, it's like saying Bloody Mary, and fucking Brian Cusco just pops up looking all
You brought that shit up a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all?" Like,
anybody mentioned Run Ronnie Run?
Yeah.
So my movie or TV show of the week this week is it's called Cursed Films. It's a movie that's it was made for the Shudder channel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shudder.
Yeah.
I love horror movies. Like I've always loved horror movies since I was a little kid. And Cursed Films, basically it talks about like these different movies that fucked up shit happened to the cast, the crew, you know, like they're saying that the movies were cursed or whatever. And dude, like there's some wild and gnarly shit that's happened on the set, you know, or just to the people on some movies. So like actors that play Superman. Like, have you ever looked up the curse of playing Superman?
Yes,
like,
I have. And
that's
wild.
Intense.
Because I grew up on that. I mean, we both did. Like our like we had the first Superman show, right?
Oh no, dude, there were Superman shows way back.
Well, first Superman movie was in the 80s. I'm talking about
no. There were Superman movies way before Christopher Reeves. And what's crazy is like the dude
Chris's head is exploding right now. Chris Eaton. He's like, this fucking idiot.
The dude who played Superman like way before Christopher Reeves, he wound up like not working after that and like getting all fucked up on pills.
And, I didn't know there was a Superman in the 50s. Yeah,
man, there was Superman way back in the day.
Okay, so, like I said, I don't know why. I guess because I was never as much.
Boom, Superman TV shows in the 50s.
I was like, Chris's head is fucking exploding right now. Listening to me say this shit. These young motherfuckers don't know any goddamn thing. Yeah, I had no idea. I knew there was Batman that old, and I guess I should have known, obviously, because I know Superman comics date way beyond. It was like one of the original comic books was Superman.
A question for Chris: was there a Batman before Adam West, or was Adam West the first person to play Batman? I know Chris will know that.
You mean Adam Wee? for those that watch Family Guy.
Yeah. No, but like also they talk about the movie The Omen and all the fucked up shit. So the guy who did the special effects in the movie The Omen, like if you've seen that movie, like a dude gets in a car accident and gets chopped in half in the movie. Well, Adam West was the first. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
So he did the special effects for a dude getting chopped in half. Well, the same fucking guy that did the special effects for that, he wound up getting in a car accident, getting chopped in half by like right next to the road sign that was OMMEN road, or the on the way to this town, OMMEN, and it was exactly 66.6 kilometers away from Omen when he got cut in half. But it's just crazy. And I mean, it could very well be coincidence. I think it is coincidence.
Computer simulation, man.
But
we're all living in a computer simulation. It's all just the Matrix.
But yeah, definitely check out Cursed Films.
By the way, I just want to throw this out there while Chris is in the comments, and I'm hoping he's hearing this. We're gonna have him on soon. I would love to fucking pick his brain about non-reptile shit. I want to talk to him about. I want to talk to him about all the comics and that shit, man. I want to get him going on that stuff because I know that he can.
I want to get him fired up about music.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that guy has so much that
he just blew in the comments with the comment about Cinderella. And if we want to have a 80s hair metal battle, Chris, you might have mentioned Match.
I literally texted him the other day and I was like, hey man, I was like, I'm listening to Crocus. I just wanted you to know that. I was like, I just felt like you would appreciate it because I'm a lot younger, well, not a lot. I'm a younger guy, and I was like, I just want you to know this shit's still alive and well. And he was like, man, thank you. Or I can't remember what he said.
I'm
I
gonna
don't remember.
start a
I don't think he
Kicks
actually thanked
tribute
me.
band.
He probably told me to go fuck myself or something like that. But yeah, no, fucking, I really like Chris a lot, man. He's a good dude as much as he, has his persona. He's one of my favorite people in the hobby, and yeah, we're definitely gonna have him on for sure,
Yeah,
whether he
man,
knows it or
can't
not.
wait. I can't wait.
He said, if you guys throw out a Shotgun Messiah reference, then I'll be impressed.
Oh man, this guy.
I've heard of Shotgun Messiah, but I couldn't tell you anything beyond that. Beyond having actually heard someone say or discuss Shotgun Messiah, I know nothing. So yeah, you got me there.
Well, if it's not Kingdom Come, Chris, then it doesn't matter with the '80s. Show me what love can be, brother. Yeah. So this week, guys, we want to have the comments do the reptile of the week.
Yeah. So
we don't have a guest, and we just want you guys to, throw us out some animals, and we'll talk about them, and if we don't know what they are, we'll look them up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So throw me some stuff. Aurora probably has like some specific like locality shit she wants me to look up. So I would appreciate that. Like genuinely, I'm not actually making a joke. Dude, Aurora is another person. I would love to have her on at some point and have her just like educate us on some locality boas and just like random stuff.
And Lance, I want Lance to come on and educate us on some
or in all seriousness, I wouldn't be opposed to and we could talk to them about this. I would love to have Aurora and Lance together. To just like kind of like simultaneously educate us on, because they both are just super knowledgeable in terms of like anything to do with boas. They're like the first two people that I think about. So I think that would be freaking awesome. Yeah.
Check out Boa Sigma.
Yeah. Yep.
And of course, shout out to Dylan with his berms all day, baby.
Dude, yeah, Dylan's the man, and I've said it before. I love Dylan's facility. I love everything about the way that he does his stuff. For anybody that hasn't checked out Dylan from D's Balls, like please do so. Please do so. His photos and his videos and stuff, should speak for themselves in terms of the way that his facility is kept. But he's also a super smart guy. He's got a lot of really amazing ideas for the way to do things. Yeah. And again, just a good dude. A great addition to the hobby.
The video that you made, the reptile berm video that you made, that was a great fucking video, man. Like I really did like that a lot. Mindy wants to talk dog breeds.
Dude, I'm down for that because I think that's something that like the average person is like real muddy on. And for those who don't know, Mindy is a dog breeder by day. Or dog breeder, not dog breeder, excuse me, not dog breeder, dog groomer. I apologize for tripping over my words. I've had a couple of PBRs. Anyways, a dog groomer by day. And so, and those are the people that I love to talk to, people that are on the ground floor of like dealing with these animals that we all create. Yeah, I was going to say I'm waiting for it. I was like, I know Minnie's going to correct me in the comments, groomer. Because obviously both of those have very different connotations in terms of the way that people will see her. Mindy is not a dog breeder. She is not running a fucking puppy mill out of her house.
She's a dog breeder. And
I want to make that very fucking clear. Mindy is not a dog breeder. She's a dog groomer. Sorry, I apologize. I hope that she's had a good laugh out of me fucking that up. But anyways, but no, Mindy's awesome, and yeah, I'm sure she could probably give us a ton of insights in terms of just like, hey, these breeds kind of suck, or like people that own these breeds don't train them properly because every single one of them's a freaking asshole,
So
I'm sure.
Talking about dog breeds, Mindy, the other day, there's a guy at work. And he runs a fuel truck. Like that's his whole job. He fuels and lubes and greases equipment and shit. And he come up to me the other day because people know that I breed snakes and they know that, I have contacts in the animal world. And it was just funny because I had personally never heard of this species of dog or this breed of dog. And he was saying it, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. And like I was just kind of agreeing with him. I was like, yeah, you know what? I still, and he was like, you know anybody can get me a Boro Boro? And I was like, I don't know what you're saying, man. And he was like, a Boro Boro. And I was like, finally, I had to like type some shit into my phone that, you know, wound up finding what he was talking about. But I really had never heard that breed of dog before. And I was tripping. I was like, dude, I really don't know what the fuck you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't know it was, yeah, she got it. But I didn't know what he was saying. And I was just like, I don't know if I can find you one, man, because I don't even know what the fuck you're saying. Like, text it to me.
Was he from Alabama?
I'm not sure where he's from.
He might be.
Yeah, like, yeah, man, sure.
What the hell is a Borbal? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I gotta Google this.
Dude, it's a big ass. It's a pretty dog.
Oh yeah, okay. I was just saying, I feel like I've heard of it. Like I've heard mention of it. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. But same thing, you know. Again, if I saw one of these in person, I would just think that it was like a Mastiff or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Same as the snake people, you know, or snakes to people. Like people don't know what the hell species all these different snakes are, and even some people like myself, I don't know a lot of different species of snakes. I don't know scientific names for stuff.
I'm interested, Dylan. What is it?
What are they saying? Cross the frog. Yeah, Mindy. I just Googled it. They're gorgeous. But like I said, to me, they look. That's what I say. If one walked up to me, I would just a Croaker Spaniel. I would, because they look a lot like a Mastiff to me. Not exactly, but similar to a Mastiff. Yeah, Press Canarios are gorgeous. They are beautiful animals, and real big, just like these Borbals, I guess is how you pronounce it. Yeah.
So another fucking species of dog that is pretty trippy is a Caucasian Shepherd. You ever seen those things?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it's like a bear. Like I read that in somewhere in Russia that they
are these the bear dogs?
Well, they use them to guard this prison. So like,
you know who's got one?
This prison has a fence and then has a gap, then has another fence. And they've never had anybody escape from that prison because in between the two fences, they have these Caucasian Shepherds that are on patrol.
Mm-hmm. You know who has one?
Who?
Chandler's Wildlife. Chandler from Chandler's Wildlife has one.
I just saw that.
He has a puppy.
Yeah, and that puppy's the size
apparently
of him.
He's kind of an asshole. Because Kenan was trying to film something at his house at Chandler's new facility, and the dog was just literally just like biting them on the heels, biting them on the hands, like because it's just that's what they're bred for, right? It's to be bitey. They're like Malinois. They're kind of the same way. Where like without being really properly trained, like that dog will fucking rip your arm off. And I don't know that. I hope nobody thinks that I'm like shitting on this breed of dog. I know nothing about these animals, but the way that I understand it is that in general, when you're talking about a large breed of a working animal, you should really know what you're doing in terms of training a dog. I mean, hell, I feel that way about even just like having a pit bull. Like there should be a required level of knowledge, in terms of the way to raise a dog to have one. I guess I feel that way about all animals in general. Like you shouldn't be an idiot and just be able to go and get an animal.
Matt's comment is exactly right. Matt's killing it tonight, by the way. But
oh yeah,
Dylan's talking about Tibetan Mastiffs, and Matt said those things are friggin' lying. Dude, they are.
Yeah, the wolf killer dog. Exactly. Yeah, Matt literally, he responded to my story I think earlier about this stream, and then has been literally like toe for toe with us, like on top of what we're talking about in terms of the conversation, just keeping right up. So Matt, like I said, I always tell you, but I appreciate you, brother. Seriously.
Yeah, Matt's the star of the show tonight.
Landseer Newfoundlands. Yeah, there's so many crazy breeds of dogs that I know nothing about. But yeah, those Caucasian Shepherds, man, they're nuts. They're just gigantic.
So
I love dogs.
Still on breeded dogs. Not too long ago, we were leaving the house, and this lady was walking her dog, and Katie was like, "Did you see that dog?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "It was some kind of cockerdoodle." Ever since then, every dog that I see, I call it a cockerdoodle.
I'm sure, but here's the thing: that's probably a dog. It's probably an actual breed.
I'm
bred
sure
some damn
probably
cocker spaniel to a fucking some kind of damn doodle or whatever the fuck. Yeah, exactly. They're probably $10,000, and they don't breed.
$15,000 cockerdoodle over
there.
there.
They're $15,000. They don't breed worth of shit. They have all kinds of health issues, and you have to take them to somebody like Mindy to make sure their fur is taken care of properly, or else they die or something.
You have to milk its anal gland.
Yeah, see, exactly. It is a real thing. Mindy says it's called a cockapoo.
Mindy's a dog groomer. She said it's called a cockapoo, not a cockerdoodle.
Cockerdoodle.
Sounds like what happens at my house on Tuesdays. Cockerdoodle.
Cockerdoodle. Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, who does it say? Yeah, Dogo Argentino. Those things are crazy too. Yeah, I love them. Any of the huge dogs that have that kind of like bully breed face, I'm a big fan of. But also will probably never own. Just because again, I just don't have the time, and I think that's the important thing nobody really talks about in terms of dogs. Like there are a number of breeds. Like I would say almost, I don't know, I wouldn't say the majority, a large number of breeds of dogs that shouldn't be owned by people that don't have the time to deal with said breed. Yeah, Australian Shepherds for sure, Blue Heelers.
I have one.
Yeah, I know you do, but you guys have the time to dedicate to making sure that thing doesn't turn into a maniac.
It makes my head hurt
because it's so fucking smart.
Oh, speak of the devil, and here he comes.
Yeah. Yeah, there. He's like, he's like, Dad, just leave me alone. All I want to really do is just go like break stuff.
Exactly.
That you have to pay to fix.
All right,
sweet pup.
All right,
I love dogs. For those that don't know, my first word ever was actually dog. My dad told me a story.
Cockerdoodle.
My dad said when I was like 2 or 3 years old, like however you are when you first kind of start walking, he and my mom decided like, oh, like we should get a dog. And so they went to a local dog pound and adopted a dog. And he said literally, he's like, they got to the parking lot with this dog and it tackled me, like knocked me to the ground, like practically hit my head on the fucking concrete, which might explain a lot. And he's like, my mom and him both like freaked out, like, oh my God, like, are you okay? And he said they both were surprised to see that I was laughing hysterically as this dog just licked my face like crazy. And yeah, so like I said, my first word was dog. So I've loved animals from the very get. First word was Tucker. Did I see that right? Yeah, which is my grandparents. That's pretty impressive, Philip. I had a friend who told me his first word was washcloth, and I was like, that's the kind of thing.
I still can't say washcloth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like Daniel, if you're listening to this, which you're probably not, but I'm still impressed by this to this day. If your first word was washcloth, what that tells me is that you could speak all along. You just chose not to. You were just like, nah, fuck this. Mom and dad keep wanting me to say mama, dada, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. I'm going to hold out and I'm going to say some dumb shit just to prove to them that like, fuck you. I got my own brain. I choose, I make my own decisions. And he was like, yeah, he's like, my
first word was vegetable oil.
Yeah, well, that's like if your first word was if your first word was a compound word, your first word is 2 words in one. You were just an asshole of a child because you could speak the entire time and simply chose not to, just to spite them.
Mindy,
and then again, like, there's
Mindy said there's no, and it's funny. It's funny because if my mom was watching this, my mom would absolutely get it. My grandma, for my entire life, my grandma said wash. She had to wash clothes. She had to wash her car. She had to, and it always drove me crazy. It'd be like washing this and washing that. And I would be like, Nana, it's wash. And she's like, well, I'm gonna wash your ass if I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap. You keep talking back to me. So yeah, definitely. And she also would, oh damn, the funniest thing ever was she was trying to like phonetically say to my grandpa the word abdominals and like trying to like break it down for him, and except she was saying it's ad-ominals. Your ad-ominals are hurting. I'm like, no, Nana, it's abdominals. Stop
There's
trying
a
to
B
correct
in there
people
that
when
you're
you're
leaving.
wrong.
Stop leaving out letters in some words and then adding them back into other ones where they don't belong. That's not the way the English language works. You can't just modify this thing to your liking. Abdominals.
It's my abdominals.
Yeah.
My grandma was a trip.
No, well, that's my grandfather was the same way. I mean, he was a true hillbilly, like grew up in the actual hills of Tennessee. I mean, he's got a story of numerous times where he was the one that drove his school bus to school with all the kids, and he drove the route and picked up all the kids to drive to the school, and just crazy stuff like that, man. When he was like,
I love it,
11. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, man. I love stuff like that too, and I want to talk to as many people like that as humanly possible, and just store that information, man, and share it along. Pass that information along. I don't want any of us to forget where we came from, and that goes for the reptile hobby too. I think that's important.
And it's like I told you, man. Like my grandpa, like I used to go to my grandpa's house, and like my friends would come up on Saturday nights and we would play poker with my grandpa and his friends, and like just sitting and listening to those old dudes tell stories, man, like 75-year-old guys, just shooting the shit with us and telling us stories about their youth and their past, and like all those fucking dudes, man, like they live these cool ass lives, like like they were all like fucking Forrest Gump. Like they all did everything.
Yeah, literally, because they either had the opportunity to or they're forced to in many cases with regards to the draft and things like that. So, yeah, man. That's why they say many of those guys were part of the greatest generation. They actually lived. They actually had to fight for some shit. They had to stand for some stuff.
Greatest generation, my ass. Tom Brokaw's pump. I love that movie.
No, there's a lot to be said about that shit for sure.
So, guys, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about in the comments, please ask us. I think that we've given all the information about next week. Super excited
that we
about
can.
Next week. Yeah,
with the exception of that one secret. And like I said, if y'all have guesses as to what that secret surprise might be,
hit us up.
Message us directly. Do not, please, don't even discuss it amongst each other. Don't discuss it with anyone, because it really is meant as a surprise for some certain individuals. And I'm super, super excited about that surprise. Bradley, I know, is also. Again, just
it's gonna be great,
especially if you've made it this far into this. Do not miss next week. Like, absolutely do not miss next week. If you do, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna want to catch it live. It's gonna be it's gonna be something special. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What are we excited to do after this stream? I mean, literally Arlington. Like, dude, that is the highlight of my life right now. Like that. Like, the idea of Arlington is the only thing that has gotten me through numerous days at work that I wanted to quit, walk off the freaking job, and never look back, no matter how many bills I've got piled up. Like, getting to Arlington is the only thing I've been focused on for probably the last 2 months.
Jeremy, the Sheraton. We're staying at the Sheraton. Hey, I'm gonna get a hold of you as soon as this is over. I owe you a shirt for one, but I got to talk to you about some other stuff. Anyone going anyone else listening to their Will Smith soundtrack asking for a friend. Oh, that guy works with me.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
No, but I will now because I have to.
Yeah, definitely list your Will Smith soundtrack.
I'm gonna have to at this point. I'm like, well, nope, but you mentioned it, so now it's in my head.
This is the same dude that the other day caught me off guard like a motherfucker. So at the beginning of the Tupac song, and he's like, "That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker,"
Yeah,
and he comes up to me and he said, "That's why I ate your chips, you fat motherfucker."
See, here's the thing: we all need coworkers like that, and that's the thing, man. Like, even working jobs that sometimes we don't love or frustrate us, like the people like that is what makes waking up every day and going to that job like worthwhile. And I hope that one hand washes the other in that way. I hope that that guy gets enough of a laugh off of bringing you that injury, and I know that you bring that injury to your job site to make everybody else laugh as much as humanly possible,
Oh,
unless
yeah,
you're
man.
unless you're screaming out and making them cry.
No, we have a really good crew, and
I'm sure, man.
100% happy with my crew, and like those guys make the day better.
Yeah, well, and you're surrounded by a bunch of hardworking motherfuckers at the end of the day.
Oh, they're gonna be hard.
So there's a mutual respect that I think comes off that. Yeah, first off, fuck your chips and click you claim. Jeremy, I'm never gonna be able to listen to that song the same way ever again. I'm not gonna lie. Every single time I hear that shit, I'm gonna fucking hear that. I'm gonna hear.
Hey, but you should have said first off, fuck your chips and the dip you claim.
Oh, missed opportunities. Missed opportunities. Fuck your chips and the dip you claim. We're gonna get a copyright strike.
I got sour cream and onion, and you got plain.
Dude, I'm telling you, if we sit down for a couple minutes after this, we can figure some good shit out.
Oh yeah,
we do.
Weird Al Yankovic ain't got shit on me.
They ain't got shit on us. But fuck, that's it, guys. I think we covered it all. Outside of the reptile of the week, I saw a few different mentions, but there wasn't enough of I think a unification.
No, it turned into dog breeds of the week, actually.
Yeah, I mean, so we kind of covered it. We pretty well touched on everything. Boa Sigma is gonna have to wait until the episode where we have Aurora
and Lance.
Yeah, and Lance on. So we'll have to hold off on that because again, I'm way too ignorant to even begin talking about it. Because I won't do it justice. I'll just sound stupid. So, Mendy, thank you. Guys. I'm so stoked, and because I know when you came in, you said you had a little bit of a rough day and you were in kind of a mood. So, generally, like honestly, that's the goal with this. That is the goal, not just a selfish goal, but it is a selfish goal. It's a selfish goal for me because I come to you guys for a good fucking mood to boost my week at the end of my week. And I'm just glad to hear that it helps people like you and all of us, and others. That is the greatest compliment that I can ever receive in my life for anything that I do is that, hey, I was having kind of a rough day and something that you did, like a conversation that you had, some random shit that you decided to do today made me feel good. That is like literally, if I died tomorrow, and I only had that to focus on, I'd be the happiest motherfucker alive. So thank all of you guys genuinely for just being here and caring about what the fuck we have going on. Thank you for hanging out and giving us your time and your energy. And just know that it's not wasted. Bradley and I literally, like I said, every day, Bradley and I talk pretty much. And a lot of our conversation is around these streams, and it affects us every day. Even though we only do this once a week, every single day, you guys have an effect on us, and we love you all and appreciate you guys. So, Bradley, if you want to close us out, and we'll see you guys next week live from fucking Arlington, Texas, with God knows who. It's a big fucking surprise. You guys already know a couple of people, but it's gonna be fucking amazing. So please, please, please be there.
Again, just following up what Zach said, we love every single one of you, and we're beyond grateful and thankful that you guys come and hang out with us and comment and laugh with us and just fucking hang out. We'll see you next week live on Friday night from fucking Arlington, Texas at the North American Reptile Breeders Conference. Everybody, please be there. And we love everyone who feels like they are connected
by creatures.
Later.